Hi everyone, so we're here at in Hoedspruit, and basically in a nutshell today we are chasing an elephant. We're going to be collaring an elephant purely for conservation purposes. The elephant that we've decided to collar is an elephant by the name of Lotta. We will then call him Lotta Woodland after we've caught him. This aligns with the pro-planet values of Woodland, which is why we've decided to do this. It's also really exciting for us because we've never done something like this, and it's actually quite fun because the personality of this elephant is he's a really mischievous elephant, and he has naughty ways and means of doing things. He's an escape artist, so here we go.
So it's breakfast time now. In the next 15 minutes we have to leave to go and meet the Elephants Alive team, and we're going to sign our indemnity forms and get onto the back of a van and go look for an elephant. So exciting.
So as you can see, I'm standing here in my woodland gear, my footwear as well as my apparel. This is awesome, and this morning it's a little bit chilly, so I'm kitted up for the cold weather, but this afternoon when it gets a little bit cooler I'll be in my t-shirt, so I'm ready for the bush.
So we're on our way to collar an elephant. He's called Lotta. He's quite the naughty elephant, which we quite like, and he's quite adventurous, and apparently he's super intelligent. So it signifies us basically. Naughty, curious, super intelligent. So we're super excited. We're going to meet up with Elephants Alive in the next couple of minutes, and then hopefully we're going to go catch us an elephant. Just sign it first.
Just remember, you might just sign your house to me, so don't do that.
You can have that as well.
You need, just give me, we are 5. No, we are 6, I'm lying.
6. I know, I was about to say, like, I'm counting 6 people.
I'm 6.
How many have you given you?
2, 4, 5, 6.
Have you got a pen?
I haven't got a pen.
This is the new collar over here. This has got a satellite tracking device built in, which you can pinpoint the exact location of the elephant, where currently it's just a bit of a radio signal where you can pinpoint if he's close or not. You can't pinpoint his exact area. With this you can track with a satellite. Hence the collaring that we're doing today. As we said, this is a very adventurous and ingenious elephant that keeps escaping, and they're trying to protect him and the general public. Hence the collaring.
Okay, so we are currently in Baluli Nature Reserve, which is part of the APNR, the Associated Private Nature Reserves, to the Kruger Park. And we're here to attend the collaring of Lotta, who will be named Lotta Woodland. So he's the first elephant to have a surname, which is wonderful.
Oh, well, and you? I'm good, thank you.
Hi. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Good. You guys still marketing all the way?
This is Rahul. He's from
Hi,
Woodland, India.
pleased to meet you. Thank you for your great shoes. We've all got them on today.
CEO of Elephants Alive.
Okay.
In charge of this fantastic event today.
Okay, we're going to gather around and just do a briefing now for everybody. And
Cool.
then we're going to start speaking out.
My name's Ben. I'm going to be the vet in charge of the darting today. My colleague over there is Joel Alves. He'll be involved on the ground. Because I'm not sure where we're working, but it's up to some tough terrain. Meaning the helicopter won't be able to land there potentially, or land close to the animal. So Joel will be in charge on the ground today. the lead vehicle is going to be Craig.
Yeah.
With Joel and Michelle. Or do you want to go in your car?
No, I think I'll go in ours.
Okay, and then Michelle will be second with this vehicle, and then I believe Leopard's View will be third, and then Moses, you'll take the cruiser with our students. Where's Moses? Oh, there you are. You're going to be right at the back, okay?
And he's going to be called Lotte Woodlands, and that's in honor of the sponsors that sponsor Woodland shoes to Elephants Alive and the funding that they give. So our first elephant with a name and surname.
Regarding the drugs and how we actually get these animals down, I don't think did Ben touch on any of the immobilization at all? Okay, so pretty much we use a really potent, morning guys. How's it? Pretty much we use an exceptionally potent opioid, okay? An opioid, that's the same drug class as morphine. It's just, I mean, depending on what books you read and whatnot, they'll tell you morphine's however much stronger. We reckon around 5,000 times stronger is orphine than morphine, okay? So it's exceptionally potent. It means we can put the drug volume that'll go into an elephant's about 1 milliliter. Okay, 1 milliliter to 1.5 mil. It's about this much, and that's how much we actually need to knock them down. It's absolutely minimal. It's quite unbelievable how potent it is that we can use that for a bull elephant. And we use a combination of drugs, so the opiate will be one of them, and then we use a second drug called azaparone. And the reason we use that is just so that we can bring down the blood pressure, because that opioid pushes the blood pressure up massively. So you guys will see, if we flip the ears open, on the outside there you'll see the veins and the arteries running there, and if we see that it's very rigid, it means that the blood pressure is too high, and we can actually give a bit more azaparone into the veins so that we can bring that blood pressure down. But that's where we monitor it, and that's also actually where we cool the elephants, because that's where so much of the blood supply is on the ear there. It means if we just pour water there, they can lose a lot of heat there through the ear. So the dart, pretty much, I think Ben's unfortunately got all of them. It's a tiny little thing, it's about 2 cc's. So 2 milliliters, and then it's got a very long needle, and obviously, you know, we need that very long needle. Elephants have exceptionally thick skin, and you need to get a really good deep muscle penetration for that drug to actually absorb. Obviously in the muscles is where all the blood supply is, so if you get it nicely into the muscle, then the drug will absorb nicely from there. And we expect them, depending on how nicely the dart hits, anywhere sort of between 7 to 12 minutes till they actually go down. And it's generally within 4 to 5 minutes they're already showing signs, like what we call the induction phase. The trunk starts to relax. The bulls, where am I going to keep this on? Craig's vehicle.
Craig, yeah.
So just chuck that. Where is his vehicle? Down this side. Okay. So with the bulls, one of the first things we see is the ears start to come forward, the trunk starts to relax, they get this really wobbling, loping gait, and then also the penis relaxes as well. So it just tends to come out, and that's a good sign that they're very soon going to come to a standstill, and then they'll stand and they'll fall down. Bulls like to go into what we call a dog sit position, so they'll literally sit on their bum like that with their front legs forward, and we don't want that. We don't like them on the chest. I don't know if Ben explained why we don't like them on the chest. So they're very easily controllable from the head. It's quite unbelievable. If they go down in sternal and you simply put, sometimes one person can just push on their head and you can swing that elephant right around and get them onto their side. So we've got some ropes just in case he goes sternal that we can pop it over the tusk and pull him over. But pretty much the nice thing about the drugs, and the main thing to really understand about it, is that it's completely reversible, which means that we can drop that elephant in 7 minutes. We give the antidote, we can have him up in 90 seconds. So, you know, if we run into trouble and there's an emergency, we can give the antidote before there's any massive issues. So, you know, we'll always be monitoring the breathing, making sure that the blood pressure hasn't suddenly dropped. And once again, you know, that's why we're always looking at the ear veins. If suddenly you look there, and I spoke about it being rigid with the blood pressure too high, if suddenly you look there and it's completely flat, then you're worrying that the blood pressure suddenly plummeted for some or other reason, you know, a cardiovascular issue, something's going on, and then you can wake that animal up. So the antidote is called naltrexone, and it pretty much just antagonizes the opioid, and that's why you'll see, I mean, depending on where we're working, it'll be really nice if it's a nice open area where we can have the vehicles nice and close, then we can give them the complete reversal and you guys can actually watch how they get up.
I've got visual of your chopper. I'm just trying to work out my best approach.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, there is a road that comes all the way down here to that, basically to that water hole is a road. And you guys, when you come down, you can come straight down that road when you do. The road just to your right-hand side.
Okay, copy that, thanks. Alright, let's get some strong people there, please, so we can move that animal. And then we keep the volume to a minimum,
Yeah, you can cut it low at the bottom.
You don't want to remove the bolts,
Okay, yeah, no worries.
Okay, so the helicopter was able to, with the vet, to dart the elephant. Unfortunately, he wouldn't go down with the first dart. He had to take 2 darts to go down, but he's finally down. His collar is now being changed from the old-fashioned collar to the GPS collar, and all the vets and the vet students are busy taking measurements, samples, DNA samples, so that they can actually follow and track the elephant and understand his lineage and try and help with his diet, so that they can understand where to stop him from going into the farms and destroying the plantation, particularly mangoes, since he's very fond of those. So his breathing is quite heavy. It's quite an incredible thing to hear. And they've put a stick inside his trunk just to keep him breathing. But he's snoring so much. He sounds amazing.
Okay, we've just finished taking all the blood samples, done all the measurements, the collar has been fitted, and the vets are going to administer the antidote to the sedative. We are moving away to the vehicles because it's quite a quick process, so he'll wake up quite quickly once he's received the antidote. and then we will watch them stand up and amble away. Generally, it's a very quick procedure. They wake up, they shake their heads, and then they walk away and start browsing again. Gotta go.